months ago, I decided to go ahead and watch Attack on Titan. Since then, I've made a couple of videos talking about each season for the show, and the last video that I did was the first half of the third season, and that was 2 months ago. I've since taken a break from watching the show, mostly because I was just, to be completely honest, I was just really fucking lazy about it. I also knew that this is eventually where there was going to be a turning point, and we were going to be getting into the end game with the fourth and final season, and stuff was going to get absolutely crazy, and I just wanted to be completely prepared to try to gather as much information as I could with whatever information they were going to give us, if any at all, because of how short the second half of the third season is, with it being only 10 episodes. Yeah, lo and behold, they ended up giving us a lot of information, and it basically just completely turns this whole show completely upside down from what I thought it was going to be, from what I thought made sense from the information that I had. It completely takes everything that I knew and had made sense in my head, completely flips it upside down, and I spent the majority of the day after I finished watching the season completely in total just trying to figure out everything, and I think I'm at a point now where I have made sense of everything, and stuff is a lot more clear, and even some stuff that I wasn't really sure about before is starting to make even more sense now, especially after doing a little bit of light research and reading to see and make sense of other stuff that I was really confused about. And now that I'm at a point where I'm completely competent or confident that I know what's going on, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the second half for season 3 before I get into watching the first half of season 4 and am completely caught up with everybody else who's already watched the final season with the first half already finished. So without further ado, start off by saying the obvious. Wit Studios and Hiroyuki Sawano return, and they do a fantastic job. Music is spot on most of the time that Hiroyuki Sawano composes a score for certain scenes. It looks great, the animation looks great, and there's not really much I really need to say. Both teams do a fantastic job with what they're given, with what they're doing, and there's not really much to say. Other than that, a majority of the second half of the third season is just a bunch of action, which, isn't a bad thing because it looks very good. The scene of Bertolt showing up and transforming into the full-scale Colossal Titan form looks fucking cool. The moment in the show where Erwin accepts his death and accepts that he's not going to be able to see his dream and his vision completely fulfilled, and him succeeding in that. Him accepting death and taking his surviving survey scout members with him into the battlefield towards the Beast Titan was such a really fucking badass moment, and it solidifies even further that Erwin Smith is one of the most badass characters in this show, even if he doesn't do anything cool in the physical sense, like Levi, and the fact that as Erwin and the scouts are doing this, he's fucking grappling towards all the Titans lined up towards the Beast Titan, and then he almost kills the fucking Beast Titan until one of the other ones saves him. And the stuff that Eren is doing, and he's fighting Reiner in their Titan forms, which looks fucking awesome. It's always cool seeing these two Titans fucking fight against each other in hand-to-hand combat, and Eren showing how much he's improved and how much better he is in combat now since we first saw him in his Titan form in the first season, and seeing some of the side characters actually get to do some cool stuff because they actually were given some tools to actually assist in the situation that they were put in with their Thunder Spears against the Armor Titan. They didn't even know it would work, but once they figured out that it would, it ended up being really beneficial, and they actually ended up doing some really cool stuff. And that's pretty much all I really have to say about the action in terms of the second half of the third season, because I think the majority of what's really important about this half of the season is the stuff that we learn towards the end of the season, which we learn what the truth is. We learn the truth about the Eldians and the Marlians, and the fact that they're on an island and that the mainland is controlled by the Marlians and Marley, and the fact that they basically tried to get rid of all of the Eldians, and the fact that there was a war, and how thousands of years ago there was a member of the royal family, of the Fritz family, who learned and somehow got the power to turn into a Titan and was the first ever founding Titan and helped the Eldians create what the mainland was how it is today, and the fact that Ymir Fritz also created the 9 shifting titans and how they're all unique and powerful in their own specific ways, and the fact that later on, many years later, the king during that time of the royal family and that time period, founding titan, also went towards the island of Paradis, and the fact that they went there to go hide away from the Marlians, and how he took the Eldians, completely sealed them off from the world on that island, created the walls with the Titans, and completely erased their memories and rewrite history as the way that he wanted it to be, and that information would be passed down from generation to generation along with the founding titans powers within the royal family, and the fact that the royal family is the only people who are able to use the founding titans powers. And that's the reason why Historia was absolutely necessary, because Eren is the attack titan, but he's also the founding titan, but Grisha's the one who actually gave him both of those powers, because Grisha was given the attack titan's powers by Eren Kruger, and somehow Eren Kruger knew the existence of Mikasa and Armin decades before they even were born in the first place. And the whole point of the first half of the third season was to try to get Historia the founding titan's powers, because she was a part of the royal family, and the only way to do that was to have her be eaten, or having her eat Eren, who was the one who had the powers at the time. And somehow Eren was somehow able to use the founding titans powers, but it isn't revealed how that actually happened until the very tail end of the second half of the third season, where he realizes and remembers that Dina Fritz, one of the royal family descendants from Ymir, was actually married and had a child with Grisha. So that makes the beast titan Eren's half brother. And oh my god. I'm saying all this information at once, but that's kind of how I felt when I was watching this for the first time and trying to pick up all this information at once. But essentially, like how I said what happened, the king during that time, who was also the founding titan, took whatever Eldians he had at the time, went to Paradise Islands, wiped the memories, and rewrote history for what he wanted to be, and he passed down the founding titan's powers until Grisha Jaeger ended up showing up, and he stole the founding titans powers and then gave it to Eren for some specific reason, even though the only people who are able to use the founding titans powers are that of the royal family. So now you're starting to question why he didn't want the royal family to get that, and that's because the royal family at the time that was on Paradise Island were trying to eradicate all the human beings and basically cause mass genocide. But that's also what the Marlians are trying to do by taking out all of the Eldians. And there's just so much stuff going on right now, and I'm trying to make sense of everything, and stuff makes a little bit more sense when I start thinking about it a little bit more. But then I'm also trying to wonder why this happens and why this thing happens. And ultimately, the main thing that we have to worry about right now is the fact that Eren is the attack titan and the founding titan, Armin is the colossal titan, and the Marlians have the 6 remaining titans, and they are very, very powerful. And the only one that we haven't seen so far is that of whatever titan. I don't know what they are. We haven't seen one. I don't know why I'm trying to say that which one we haven't seen, because I actually don't even know what it is yet. And actually, we also have the female titan, because Annie is still crystallized, and she didn't show up at all in the second half of the season. So that means she has to show up eventually in the 4th season. But what is she going to do there? Is she going to be one of the good guys and one of the bad guys? What the fuck is going to happen there? I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. Just this second half was just so crazy and mind-boggling to me. It completely shattered all of my expectations, and I didn't even know what any of this stuff was really going on. But seeing the history of what Grisha went through in his life, and having Eren react to all that, and then also later on when they're awarded medals with the survivors of the scouts, he relives another memory of his father, of when he took the founding titans powers. And that memory in particular scared him or shocked him in some sort of way, and we have no idea what that means, because the show didn't explain that in any way possible. So maybe eventually that's going to get explained or shown off in some way. I don't know. The whole purpose of getting towards the sea ended up having such a deeper meaning than we thought it did, from what we first saw in the first season, when we just saw Eren and Armin as kids just wanting to go to see the sea because they had never seen anything like that before and they were so confined within the walls. Who would have thought that getting outside of the walls and actually experiencing the outside world was so important in such a specific way? And the fact that this everything starts to make more sense in how things actually happened the way that they did, and how important the founding titans powers really are, and how important Eren currently is by having the two powers of the nine titan shifters. It's crazy. It's just in the fact that they only have such an amount of time to live. They only have like 13 years, right? So that means Armin only has 13 years to live because he has the powers of the colossal titan and he has to pass that down in some specific way. Same thing with Eren and everyone else who has those powers. It's nuts. It's crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's even going on right now, to be fucking honest. That just the episode ends at the final episode, and I was just like, oh, I gotta watch season 4 now. I gotta watch season 4 now to fucking have even more information, to make more sense and more stuff. And I don't know. I'm standing here in my room, fucking trying to comprehend everything and make sense of more stuff. But all I can really say is that season 4 is going to be fucking nuts when I start talking about it and start reviewing about it and start, having a discussion about this, because my whole thought process right now with the second half of the third season just was completely thrown out of the water once we started learning the truth of what the world was and what we actually thought what it was. And just these few episodes of this second half turned the show completely different than what it was. And I already really liked the show, right? And I already thought it was really fucking good, but now Attack on Titan right now, just with all this, has made this like a top 5 anime, like guaranteed, depending on what they obviously do with the ending, which I have no clue what happens for the ending. Of course, manga readers already know that, but I don't know what happens. I don't know how this show's gonna fucking end. Stuff is just crazy. I can't talk about this more enough and, praise the stuff that it does. I am completely floored. I'm completely floored with what they decided to go ahead with the writers and obviously the mangaka for the manga, what they decided to do with the story. I'm completely floored. I'm so just confused about everything, but I haven't been more excited to learn more information about this world and this show, or any show, in a very long time. And I'm glad that I started getting into this, because I feel like I'm actually experiencing something that everyone else has already been experiencing, but now I'm able to experience that, and I'm ready to get excited along with everyone else. So I don't know, man. I've kind of said all the things that I really wanted to say. This show is crazy. I don't know how people are watching this shit on a week-to-week basis, but it's incredible. I'm enjoying this experience so much. I want to see more, and I would be more than humbled if you guys were willing and accepting to hear what my thoughts and opinions are out there. That's all I really have to say. This show is fucking nuts. I can't wait to start the 4th season, and I can't wait for whenever the second half of the 4th season comes back, or starts back up, whatever. I'm excited. I want to see more. I want to know what happens. I want to see how this show ends. I want to see how this story concludes. I want to see what happens to these characters. But other than that, that's all I really have to say. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts about Attack on Titan are in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace. Also, no spoilers. Please don't leave any spoilers. Yeah, anyways, I'm out. Peace.